What is going on, everyone? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of South Bay Sports Radio. On this, I'm joined by the current football coach at Redondo Union High, Keith Ellison. Keith talks about falling in love with football, being a two-sport athlete at Redondo, his collegiate journey, making it to the NFL, his mentors, including legendary El Camino coach John Featherstone, his favorite South Bay eatery, and so much more. Let's tune in to hear more about Keith's football story. Coach, thank you very much for joining me, and congrats on the new addition to the family.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Of course. Take us back to the early years. What do you remember about falling in love with football?
I just like the contact, honestly. It's interesting. Like most of my life, I was a basketball player growing up. Most people, if they knew me pre-high school, always thought of me as a basketball player. But I just truly love contact. I love the sport. I love how physical it is. I really liked hitting people. And so, it just really drew me to it.
You were a two-sport athlete in high school at Redondo. What would best describe your prep career as a Seahawk?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know what would best describe it. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed playing basketball and football. I love playing two sports. I really wish more kids played two sports nowadays as opposed to specializing. It was just something for me that I learned so much from each one that I was able to apply to the other one. And just doing something different throughout the year was also just enjoyable. No, I had a great time playing two sports in high school. Really enjoyed it. We had a really good basketball team. We won CIF title 2 years in a row. So yeah, it was an enjoyable experience.
Do you feel that the two-sport athlete is becoming more, we're doing away with it more, or kids are more focusing on one sport?
I think more kids are playing one sport for a variety of reasons. I think a lot of adults are pushing them into specializing, which I think is a mistake. Um, like parents are keeping kids in one sport, thinking that if you just focus on that one sport, that's going to get you to the next level, scholarship or college or whatever. Look, I'll always argue this. I think that's a mistake. I think kids should play more sports. I think they should specialize a lot less. And honestly, like the reason I played sports wasn't to go to college or the NFL or anything like that, was just because it was fun and I enjoyed doing it. And there's so many benefits to playing multiple sports throughout your life that I think a lot of kids are missing opportunities because they're specializing too early.
You initially go to San Diego State after you graduate from Redondo, and then you return to the South Bay and attend El Camino. What initially drew you to San Diego State, and what went into the decision to return home?
So I got recruited to San Diego State. I decided to go there. I got recruited by Coach Steve Sarkisian, who's now the head coach at Texas. I knew him from a while back. He played at El Camino and BYU with my older brother. So I had a previous relationship with him and felt comfortable going to San Diego State. But once I got down there, he left and took a job. I believe it was at USC at the time. And so the coach who basically like recruited me down there was now gone. And it just didn't work out for me. The situation, I wasn't getting out of the situation what I wanted to. And so I made a decision to leave. And before I left, I had a conversation with Coach Featherstone at El Camino, who, again, I knew previously because he coached my older brother, about leaving San Diego State and possibly coming back to El Camino. And so when I was deciding to transfer, this was 20 years ago now. It was a lot harder transferring schools than it is currently. It was more like it's just I need to go back to El Camino for a year and work my way out of there. But what really got me there was just Coach Featherstone. Honestly, he was so gracious and very honest and upfront about the whole process and the situation that I was going to be walking into.
You named Feather as one of your mentors, and I'll get back to more of those in a little bit, but what were some things you learned from Coach that you still use today?
Just having like his energy for coaching, and anyone who's ever been around him knows it's just infectious. Like he loved football and loved coaching football and loved helping young men. And what I really took from him during that time, which I try to apply, is just my love and excitement to show up to work and coach every day. He was such a positive person. Even when he was upset at you, and you would think a guy who's 5'7" and 130 pounds wouldn't have as much fire as he did, but man, he loved the game, and that's really what kind of pushed me as a coach to. I saw how players responded to that, and the energy that he had, and just the enthusiasm. And I try to bring that to my program as I coach.
After 1 year at El Camino, you head north to Colorado Valles, Oregon. What drew you to Oregon State?
Honestly, Mike Riley, who was the head coach there at the time, he's very similar to Coach Feather. I was lucky to have honestly two of the nicest people as my head coaches. And the other part is just at Oregon State. I just want to get away from Southern California after my experience at San Diego State. I grew up out here in LA. I just wanted to go somewhere different, and it was an opportunity to kind of get away. The other thing that was in their favor was that they were the one school that wanted me to transfer mid-year. So I was able to get out there for spring ball. And go ahead and get my career started out there. So I really enjoyed my time out there at Oregon State.
What positions did you play?
When I was at El Camino, I played safety. Once I got to Oregon State, I moved to linebacker.
You mentioned a couple memorable games while you were at Oregon State, including your first game as a Beaver against the defending champion Louisiana State. Take me back to that game, because that is a perennially tough team to play.
Yeah, I've never played in a stadium that big before with that many fans. We're playing the defending national champs down in Louisiana, and football is just a lot more important and bigger in the South. And it was one of the best environments I've ever played in my life. We got delayed by 45 minutes because we had a lightning storm, thunderstorms. And then we get out there and, we take this team to overtime and we lose, I believe it was by a point. My memory's getting a little bad as I get older. Honestly, it was just the experience of that game, of seeing football down south and how important it is. And, you get 90,000 people yelling at you. It was pretty fun.
Thanks for tuning into this episode. If you're interested in advertising with South Bay Sports Radio, leave a comment and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Enjoy the rest of this episode. Your mentors, you gave me a handful. You've got Mike Riley, current Redondo Girls Hoops coach Marcelo Enriquez,
Hmm.
and one of your assistants, Matt Ballard, who held the same position as you before.
Yeah. You know what, honestly, I'm so fortunate to have Matt on staff. He's the guy I worked for when I was the defensive coordinator at Redondo. Once I took over as the head coach, one of the things I did was ask for him to come back because he's just that important. I think he's important to just Redondo football, but more so, he's such a great coach. And so much of what I've learned from being a head coach, I got from him. And I just try to apply a lot of the lessons that I took from him and kind of continue on a lot of what he established at Redondo.
Go into some of the things you learned from other mentors aside from Matt and Feather, please.
You know what, Marcelo, I coach he's been around Redondo. I met him first when I was a student there. And so as I've become a coach and been a part of the coaching family here at Redondo, he's somebody I've always just went to for advice on stuff. He's seen it all. His thing that I've learned the most from him is have a little bit more patience when I'm talking to my players. I remember him in high school being a very fiery guy, and he still is, but he has mellowed out quite a bit since then. But he's kind of talked to me about different ways that I can interact with kids, try to get the most out of them with it. So I still to this day ask him questions about how he handles current players and situations that I might come across. Coach Riley, again, he's very similar to Feather in sense of that there's a sense of getting guys to play for him. And the reason why I think he has been so successful having guys wanting to do what they can and work as hard as they can is that he cares about them. And to this day, I see Coach Riley, he'll ask me about my family, he'll ask me how everything's going. He remembers my mom's name, my brother's name, which is, it's rare of somebody of that high profile of a coach. And so he cared about the whole player, not just what you could do on the football field. And that is extended to this day. I've been fortunate enough to be around a lot of good coaches in my life, but those guys are the ones that kind of stand out.
You make it to the NFL, and that is no simple task. What's your message to young players now who have dreams and aspirations of making it to the league?
You're probably not going to make it. And I don't say it to be mean or anything like that, but the odds are stacked against you. It's extremely difficult. It takes quite a bit of luck, but also a lot of preparation. And when I talk to people about who want to play at that level, what I tell them is well, are you outworking everybody who's around you right now? Let me know when practice ends. Are you still doing other stuff or are you done like everyone else? It's hard. It's very few people who make it to the NFL. It's very few people who stay there. So, yeah, it's damn near impossible to make it. But I'm an example of it. I wasn't a great athlete. I was good, but I found a way to play 5 years in the NFL. And a lot of it is just sheer through a lot of hard work. And like I said, a lot of luck. So it's a difficult task, not impossible, but I think a lot of young athletes who I come across who want to make it at that level don't truly understand how much work needs to be put in and how much you have to do to prepare yourself for it. Sorry, give me one sec. Give me 1 second. Let me grab my kid.
Take it.
What's up? What's up? What's up? You good? All right. Sorry about that.
No, please. You're completely fine. I've got two kids of my own, so I get it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, that's kind of where I'm at with guys moving to the NFL. It's difficult.
You begin coaching in 2011. As you said, fell into it by accident. At Cathedral, how would you describe that first year coaching?
So I just got done playing in the NFL. I was trying to sign on with another team. It didn't really work out. My younger brother was the defensive coordinator there at the time and called me and was like, "Hey, you want to help?" And I was like, "Sure." Never wanted to be a coach. I mean, I've just never wanted to get into it and got out there that first year and I enjoyed it. Like I really liked working with kids. I really liked talking with them and trying to teach them things I knew. Yeah, it was a good experience. It was a good start. I got to work with Coach Pearson, who's the head coach at Cathedral at the time. Went on to Warren, who's an excellent, excellent head coach. So yeah, it just kind of allowed me to dip my toe in there, try to see what it's like. And now I'm been like 13 years, I think now, still coaching. Yeah.
You recently wrapped up your third full season as head coach at Redondo. What's that journey been like as an assistant to now being in charge of the program?
Ooh, it's been a lot more work. I've been fortunate because like I've been around Redondo so long and I was a part of the program previously, so there wasn't a big transition. Different things that I want to implement as a head coach that I didn't as an assistant coach. It's been great. Like I really enjoyed it. The kids have been wonderful. They've really kind of bought into kind of stuff that we want to get done there. And so I've just, I've been fortunate to be supported by a lot of good coaches, including Ballard, who came back on the staff with me. So yeah, I've been fortunate. It's been a lot of fun, but yeah, a lot of work.
You're currently a teacher on staff at Redondo, but you began as a history teacher. What is it about history that pulls you in?
Oh man, it's just the stories that are told throughout the past, right? Like how we got to where we are today. History is my passion. I loved teaching history. I was a history major in college. My grandfather was the one who started me on that. He loved history. I used to always read all these nonfiction books, about all the different things that were going on throughout our past, and just to see where we've gotten today, the mistakes that have been made, the things that have been overcome, how our world has gotten to this point. To me it's just interesting and exciting to really learn about.
We are now going to transition into rapid fire. 5 questions, answer as you like. Here we go. Your favorite all-time NFL players?
Jerry Rice.
Number 1, the GOAT. That's it.
I love Jerry Rice. I was a huge 49ers fan when I was younger. Had his jersey. He was the guy, and honestly, it was his work ethic. Like I loved how hard he worked.
Running with lineman cleats on. I remember those ones. One NFL franchise has to go.
Ooh, I mean, the easy answer I would say is the Patriots because I lost to them so many times when I was in Buffalo. But they have too much history there. Man, one has to go. I would say the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hopefully, there's no Jaguars fans listening. Sorry.
You never know in LA. Favorite football movie?
I remember the Titans.
A movie is being made about your life. Who plays you?
I don't know. That's a good question. I have no idea. I mean, the easy answer, I guess, would be like Will Smith. Like I've gotten that before, but I would go with Will Smith. He's about my height. He has the size for it.
Your go-to South Bay eatery and your favorite dish there?
I love Tigres Fuego. Right there on PCH. Honestly, like almost anything on their menu. The shrimp Cali burrito is one of the things I'll eat quite a bit. But almost everything they have there is pretty good.
Awesome. Coach, thank you for your time. I appreciate you very much, and I look forward to talking to you in the future.
Thanks, Nick. Appreciate it, man.
Thanks.
All right.
Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to follow along and share these episodes with your family and friends. Until the next episode, South Bay Sports Guy signing off. Have a great day.